Bye.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
I'm starting to.
Hi.
I asked them that, they said, yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I am Hillary. And last year what we did was we had these meetings every week, and they were not mandatory, but they were kind of nice to say hi and make sure we're on the same page. So we'll do something similar to that, but now we're moving more towards the regional manager, where you and a few other counties are going to be under one person. I'm not 100% sure if we have divvied those out and if everyone has accepted responsibilities as well as is on the same page. I do know that I'm in charge of Orange County, Seminole County, and some of the East Coast, so Flagler, Volusia. I know that Kelly Barrera is in charge of Duval County and more towards the northeast part of Florida. And then Buck Burney is more towards west of Duval. And then the Panhandle is more of like a group of people in terms of agriculture. So I'm not sure it is one person. And then the south and west are kind of getting divvied out. So there isn't necessarily one person for that particular group. But if you do need someone, then I am here for you. So I'll just give you guys some reminders. You know, if you have been here before, nothing has really changed. So we are going to be getting the rosters. So Terry Bosma will get those. And I would try to do it by the end of this week, just because hopefully by now the schedules for the students are relatively stable. And I know I had one student transfer in and out as of today. So I sent her one school that I work at, and I've hesitated on the other one just for another day or so. And then registration, just to recap, your registration dates are the 2nd. That's like pretty much the last day for you to get either a scanned copy or physically mail the copies with the Social Security, the handwritten, data, and the parent's signature. So send those off to Terry. And then hopefully prior to that, your student has already, well, all of them have already gone online and registered for just to literally get their EARNI password and name. I know today, Terry said there were still somewhere around 130 students that have not been assigned Ernie accounts. So hopefully by tomorrow, everyone should. It was a bit of a hot mess last week. So I ended up just waiting until today. And luckily, all of my students, except about 3 of them, have been able to do everything. And then once they get that email, then they should be able to log in and then create their own password and enroll in your course. I know that if I am teaching a full year course, so if we're doing the 121s, then register for them for the spring. So it looks like it's a spring, but you can register it now. So I ended up looking like I was, I think, a Cook County, someone or other. So my 121 students had to click residential 2017 in order to get the code that was appropriate. So just make sure that before they click enroll that they're in your class. You should have your name in that enrollment cart. My semester classes were good, but it was just the 121s that I had to do the spring. But everything else worked. So that was good for me. I hope you're in the same boat. And let me think. So we have, I think there was one other thing that I wanted to remind you guys of, but the 121 materials as well as the 220, pretty much every course you're in, everything should be divvied out. Terry has diligently mailed everything. And then you should also somewhere in your emails or even paper copy have a list of the items, resources, books that you should be getting. So if you are missing anything, then I would wait like another day or two. And then if you do not see them and you are expecting them, then send Terry an email and hopefully it didn't get lost and you really are still getting them. And then the last thing that I remembered was 121 tests. So if you are a 121 professor, then you are going to have that FAA knowledge for you. So if you look throughout Canvas and then in the resources for instructors, there's like the 3 documents that have all the FAA requirements, and we have to do that. So send a completed test that has the policies and procedures to TK, to Tom Curtin, or you could send them to me and I'll cheat off you and then I'll hand them in. And then just one more thing, I don't think anyone here had an issue with filling out the Excel spreadsheet for 121, but just in case you did, Terry wanted me to go over how to do it really quick. So you should be able to see my screen. And then up here, you would have your name. You do actually have to download this Excel spreadsheet. I did see last year where it was about 2 or 3 professors. I think they did it a little on the late side. So they ended up printing more of a screenshot from Canvas. And that screenshot does not take all of this Excel spreadsheet and lay it out properly. So it ends up really funny. So you do have to download this, and I end up saving it immediately for each of my classes. So I have one that's for Atlantic and one that's for Flagler County. And then I have the proper, section here and then the year. And what you are going to do is when your student gets their email, you are going to put in like the 7-digit passcode. their Ernie number, and then you put their last name and their first name. And then you do not have to complete any of these columns until the end. But what you do have to complete is the month. So we would start, let's say we started today, we would put this as the 23rd. And then if they are there, they get a P. If they are not there, they get the A. And then by the end, all of the A's have to be made up. And that's what TK went over in how to make up a class. So there should be no A's by the end of the year. They should all be either P's or M's. If it is an A, then ultimately the student does not get a satisfactory attendance. And so just remember that you do not have to technically put in all of the dates that you have school. You just have to put in the FAA days with the modules. When you get into the exams, you would not necessarily put a P or an M or an A, but you would put like whatever grade they got. And towards the end, you have the other option. So that is worth about 10 or 15%. I have to look at the syllabus again, but that would be factored into their grade. So you'd say, you know, the person got 90 for their homework and quizzes and that kind of thing. And then you would delete that note because that's just for us. And that's pretty much that. I can try to answer questions for 220, even though that is not necessarily my specialty. I know Janine is online, so if you have any Canvas questions that I cannot answer, she can do that. If you have,
I have a question.
Oh, go for it.
Raymond George contacted me this afternoon. Hi, Raymond, I know you're here. And he had mentioned the documents that TK sent out, and I forwarded it to all of the AS121 people yesterday. The concern is the assessment that all AS121 professors have to complete, like you did in the past. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the past it was more when you guys were together and you did the workshops together, the training, you did some type of PowerPoint exam / 4-hour training, and that took in place of this exam that I sent to everybody yesterday. I don't know if you took a look at it, but Hillary, if you took a look at it, but it's a short answer for every question, and it looks pretty extensive. I know that when I looked at it yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, this is, and then he wants it done by August 29th, and I swear he just gave it to me yesterday morning. Otherwise, I definitely would have sent it out to everybody earlier. So is this new? I mean, because I don't remember seeing this before. Have you seen it before? And it's been given to all AS121 professors in the past in a different format?
It has been issued at the training meetings in the beginning. And if you text me privately and have some questions, then I can probably help you out with at least the old version. I haven't looked there, but I did see really quickly there were some differences in the new to old version. So every year we do have to have this proof that we have the training. So this is the written proof for Part 141. So everything should be on Canvas. Some of it wasn't necessarily gone over in the training, so you might have to actually look it up, but I should be able to help you personally if you have a question. Or what you can do is we can ask TK, and then if you ask me it, I'll ask TK it, and then I'll just send out like a blanket answer. So we can do that too.
I looked through it yesterday. I mean, when I looked through the questions yesterday, yes, it does seem kind of extensive when it comes to answering them, because it's not an easy multiple choice or fill in the blank or true false kind of question. I mean, it literally is a short answer / some of it might even be a small essay. However, I mean, like Hillary did say, it is a requirement. And Hillary, I don't know if you want to send out just a reminder that it is required that all AS 121 folks have got to complete this exam in order for them to teach AS 121. Because I only noticed 7 people showed up today, and we definitely have a lot more people than just 7 participants that show up. I mean, that teach AS 121. And I think that's awesome that you're offering some assistance to answering some questions with this exam. And it's unfortunate that those didn't show up, doesn't have that opportunity. So lucky you guys. So yes, that's great. Thank you, Hillary, for definitely for reiterating how important that is, and it is a different format. I do apologize that it seems to, I wish that he would have sent that to you earlier instead of right when school started, because I know it is time consuming. So I apologize on TK's part. They don't start till next week, so I'm sure he's thinking that you guys have, another week to go before school starts, not realizing that it's already begun for everybody. That's all.
Thanks, Janine.
I have the older version somewhere in my repertoire of stuff. And so what I'll do is a little later this week, I'll compare what has been, newer versus older, and see if we can just copy some of my things, but not really copy because we're still learning it. We still know it.
Hey, Hillary.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Ray. I'm sorry. The format on that, if you can, just shoot it to me. I would love to see it, what you have already.
Yeah.
The only question, the other question to that I had is over the summer we did the Canvas training as well, and we had a test on that as well. So I'm just wondering, is it a whole separate component of it, or is it actually just a continuous of that?
There might, so the one that I'm thinking that that you were thinking about online.
Yeah, the syllabus run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was about 10 questions.
Yep, I believe so.
Yeah, so if you've seen this one, this is probably more like 10 pages.
Yeah, I think, like 30 or 40 questions.
Yeah. This is a separate document. There might be those 10 questions somewhere embedded in there, but this is not the same.
Okay. So this one just basically covers 141, part 141.
Yeah, here, I'll bring it up. Just give me 1 second. I actually found the old version, so I was trying to compare it real quick. So it does date it to the new policy of 2016, but here, I'll share my screen so you can see my old version. I know, Ray, are you on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone else gets to see except you. But this is the old version, so this one's 2015. And then it has the FAR part 141. And it tells you how many modules and how many days of class can be missed. And the particular Embry-Riddle ground training policy procedures. And then aviation instructor's handbook. So that looks like about all the information there. And then we'll see what Janine sent and see how those differ, if at all, real quick.
Hillary, it's the third one. It's the PDF.
Oh, is it? It's not that one? Okay, so here's the new official one. At least we can see that. I'll stop sharing just for a sec because I'm sure no one wants to actually read my emails because we know I don't. No, I do. I'm kidding. I really do. So 141 AS 121, the PDF. I think.
Correct.
Okay. Try one more time. Okay. Well, this is the ground course outline. Is that what you meant?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Maybe it was the middle one. Yeah, that's the one. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No worries. So we have the official FAR 141 policy. So it looks like there's a few new questions. This is 4 pages, so good thing it's not 10. I'll send out my old test and then we'll figure out if there are big differences. So like obviously the current version will be slightly different, but at least the aviation instructor's handbook, all of that stuff is the same. So at least like the next 2 pages, that's the same. So it's really just some of the changes in the policy, and then that's what these 2 documents would be. So it's like half of it that has been slightly updated. But what I'll do is I'll look at it. Was there a due date, Janine?
Yeah, it's due August 29th. And also, Raymond, I just wanted to let you know that Hillary does record these trainings, or not training sessions, but she does record these meetings, and she normally posts them on the Canvas sandbox. So if you can't see it right now, or even if you want to go back and review it, you can always go back to the AS121 instructor sandbox and you'll see the recorded sessions today. But yes, the test is due August 29th.
Okay, thanks, Janine. I always love those things, so those are nice to have.
Okay, so Sarah, are you teaching 121?
Yes, I'm teaching 121.
Okay.
My first time teaching it. I have a question about the syllabus. Does anyone know how many changes were to the syllabus? Because I actually handed out my syllabus before that came through in the email. From what I could tell, it was like the course, what do you call it, equipment is the only thing I saw that was changed. Does anyone else know? Was there anything else there? Do I need to remake my syllabus?
I know that the newer PHAC was updated slightly, but I don't think that that was changing the syllabus at all. Because ultimately the syllabus has to get approved by the FAA, and the likelihood of them redoing it just for a new revision in the PHAC is not likely.
Right.
So I would say no, but I have not checked it unless anyone else has actually checked it and can give a better answer.
Sarah, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you very well. I might be able to answer your question because I was the one that put the new syllabus in there. And again, I apologize. TK gave me all of these documents at the last minute. So I don't know exactly what your question was. If you wouldn't mind repeating nice and loud for me because I'm kind of deaf.
Sure. So I already handed out the syllabus before you emailed it. So I'm asking, do I need to give them a new syllabus?
Did you go through and did you do a side-by-side comparison with the new syllabus and the old syllabus and see if there's anything really different in there? Because the only thing I could think of is that there was a module taken out. Instead of having 49 modules, there's definitely 48 modules.
I have 48.
Okay. And as far as like the absences, that's still the same. Nothing has changed on that at all. And I'm not really too sure. Like I have not done a comparison. He just said I have a new syllabus. It's updated, and I put it on there.
Okay. Yeah, I did a comparison, and really all I saw was like
Module change. Yeah, the equipment.
Yeah, no, I had the version I had the modules updated.
Oh, okay. So he has changed it since the one that I put on there last time. Yeah, he's given me several documents that have been the same. I changed them at the beginning of the summer, changed them in the middle of the summer, and then I changed them at the end of the summer. So, and then even for a while there, I was even a little confused myself. So I just made sure that the date was on there.
Right. Okay. I guess if anyone comes across any major changes, that's all I could see was on the first page, the list of, I think it's textbooks, required equipment. Those two sections look different to me. But besides that, I didn't see any other differences. And I think that varies per school anyway, you know, if we have the equipment to give them or not. So anyway.
Yeah, I know they're shying a little bit away from the Jeppesen. And then the Gleim version, there was a new 2016, which all of us should have. But then I actually was listening in on an FAA webinar, and they said that the new ACS, which is pretty much like the revision of the PTS.
Right.
Yeah, the practical test standards now I forget what ACS even stands for already. But that is what has the knowledge information. So instead of having like the PTS where it was just more of the practical part, the ACS has 3 different parts. One is the knowledge, one is a risk management, and then one is the skills. So the skills are performed in the practical, but the knowledge is what's in, you know, the oral or the written or both.
Right.
And then what they are doing is, at least what they said, is that the questions from the past 6 months or so are about 100% different.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the Gleim isn't like a perfect replica like it used to be.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's fun when you're teaching.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions? Joe, I don't have t-shirts for you.
No.
Vicky, everything's going okay? Cool.
Here I am. Yes, thank you.
Good. That's all I have. I mean, there was just helpful reminders. If I could actually help in any way, then that's my goal. And so I'll send out, probably in like 3 or 4 weeks, I'll set out like a, hey, in case you want to meet up and see my pretty face. Or if you have any questions, you can always call or text or email me. If you have anything in terms of like administrative questions, in terms of like your principal or the contract, then Art is usually a good person to go to, Art Jamison. If you have anything with the resources or registration, then Terry's the good go-to lady. And then training purposes, Canvas, Janine's your gal.
I actually do have one more question. I came across, so already first week, or second weekend, I have a student's mom emailed me and said that basically they have a lot of doctor appointments coming up because they're kind of chasing down a medical issue with the student. And apparently the student this started last year and he was out for surgery last year. And anyway, it just keeps continuing. So she emailed me about concerns about if he'll be able to attend all FAA days. And so she was giving me a heads up before it became a problem. So what, I guess, like, what is there exceptions made for students who have some kind of medical condition going on? Or is it an absolute, they can't participate in this course if they are going to miss 7, I guess, FAA days? And is there any guidance on what I should do or how I should handle the situation?
So legally, yes, they can only miss 5 days, and then like the 6th one, their grade starts to drop. but you are the person that identifies those FAA days. So if you feel like the student is able to make it on every other day but those 5 days, then that's all up to you.
Okay, so, okay, I think I see what you're saying, but maybe more bluntly. So essentially what you're saying is I can move my FAA day. So even though I've already made a class plan and I said that Monday's an FAA day and Thursday's an FAA day, and I find out that those are 2 days this week he can't come. So you're suggesting I just change the class plan to maybe make it a little bit more conducive to the students being able to attend?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I have students that for the first like 2 weeks almost, they're out because of, I had one student that had a family vacation that was planned, which was kind of silly. I had another, yeah, I know. I had another one that had a family emergency. So then I gave them my email account and, you know, my email address. And so we were in constant communication. So then technically they weren't necessarily there with the group of students, but I was able to discuss the information. And so I was still able to, on that day, talk to them. So then that didn't count as like a missed day.
Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. So you can make special circumstances.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not there in the class.
Without saying yes, special circumstances, you can make special circumstances.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's all I got. It's good to see you guys again. Welcome back. Sarah, welcome aboard. Janine, have anything fun to say or add? Or?
I just want everybody to know that I'm actually creating an AS121 online course like I did for AS120 and 220. I hope that if you had a chance to look at what has been built in Canvas, that you're able to utilize it sometime this year. I did just finish the 5 exams in AS121 on Canvas. I'm waiting for the okay from TK that they're good. And once he says they're okay, we can always copy them into your AS121 section, and you can actually offer it this year to your students. Because I believe your first exam's not going to happen still for another few weeks. So hopefully I'll get a okay from him that, yeah, these are all good, answers are right, blah, blah, blah. And then we can actually use them for this year if you feel that that's going to be an easier way to administer assessments through Canvas. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up on it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day. Thanks for joining.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.